Hey everybody, it's Laurie from Quick Scrap Craft and welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing something that again is a little bit random and again is going to be great if you're using stuff from just your stash. Either you're doing a no-spend year or whatever, shopping your stash. If you have branding strips from those pattern papers that you cut off because you're going to use the pattern paper, maybe you haven't thrown the branding strips away. I don't. I actually have a whole bag full of branding strips. And I do like to use them on occasion in different ways on layouts. And this is going to be a layout that strictly uses branding strips. I don't add any other pattern paper. It's just the strips. So if you like this video, you think this is going to be interesting for you, well, then maybe you want to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on other inspiration from my scrapbook process videos. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back. I have over 800 subscribers already, which is very exciting. So thank you guys so much for doing that, subscribing, and continuing to watch all of my videos. So I did a little bit of mixed media because obviously the branding strips, they're not going to take up a whole lot of space on the paper. So I did 3 colors of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray, and I just used the packaging technique. I think it was the lemonade color, speckled egg, and kitsch flamingo. So just the packaging technique, and then I did off camera roll them with paper towel just to kind of help soak up some of that excess. I know some people find that their Distress Oxide sprays can smudge even if they do let them dry, just leave them to dry all overnight. And I've had that problem too, mainly with just the blue colors. I don't know why that is, but paper towel rolling sometimes is a good thing to do with the package technique. When with splatters, obviously you might not want to do that if you're spraying through a stencil or something, because then you're just definitely, there it is, then you're just definitely going to smudge the stencil design. But you know, that this is a good way just to soak up some of that excess and just make sure that there's nothing around that could get smudged or could get on your fingers or mess up your layout. But even if it does get smudged, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I've still kept layouts with the smudges, and it, you know, especially when it's like mixed media, you could just say that that's the way it's supposed to look. It's mixed media and whatever. I have a guest here who would like to say something.
So, mommy's scrapbooking a picture of me on my last day of school, which is the last day of kindergarten. Tomorrow I'm going to be starting my first day of first grade, and I'm Daphne.
That's right.
Mommy's daughter, and she's kind of like doing like a son.
That's right, I am, because actually this was inspired by a Scrapbook Generation virtual crop challenge where you were supposed to, there were several options that could inspire you, and one of the options was to do something with like a sun and rays. So I was like, let me take this photo. I just wanted to do something that was like a single photo because I wanted the mixed media and these branding strips to show up. So I'm like, let me cut the photo down into a circle, and I used my Creative Memory circle cutter to do that. And so the picture is kind of like the sun. It's the focal point. And then all of these branding strips are going to be the rays popping out of the sun, right?
Yeah, so like she also used yellow and greenish bluish splatters on the white paper, and she's going to decorate that with all kinds of different strips. I mean, like, it's so pretty. I love how she did a circle, and then so she did a small circle adding with all the lines coming out, and I actually did that with mine.
That's right.
Some of that with my scrapbook page that I had in my scrapbook. That's a scrapbook on it, and so I might be making some videos of me putting on my channel.
Yes, she was creating right alongside with me. So another way to use up your branding strips is if you have a child, give the branding strips to them and they will glue them into their own scrapbook album. I should also note that the background page for this is Vicky Bouton Foundations paper. I was talking about the spray smudging. It might depend on the kind of background paper that you have, because as I'm thinking about it, the times that spray has smudged, it has not been on foundations paper. It's been on like a regular cardstock. So you might want to invest in some foundations paper if you are concerned with the smudging or you've had issues with the smudging. So that sticker there is, it says last day of school, and it is very old, authentique. I think I've had it since like 2019 in my stash. I've used it most of that school collection, and I just had that and like another sticker left. So obviously it was going to be perfect for this photo. And then I will be adding in a couple more embellishments of just like random things from my stash. I used adhesive squares to stick everything down. And because the branding strips are so thin, I actually took one adhesive square and cut it in half and then used both halves, one at one end of the branding strip and one at the other end. So that's just something that you could do as well. It also saves you from using up your branding strips too quickly when you cut them in half instead of using them whole. I've got a couple more embellishments that I'm adding. There's a sticker there from a Simple Story Spring Collection. Actually, a lot of those are the Simple Story Spring Collection. And I thought they were kind of fitting because it's like a picture of my daughter, last day of school. She's growing, moving on. And so like bloom, baby, bloom, just talking about growing and blooming. So that's why I put that there. And then I added another branding strip down at the bottom. I originally I kind of like dreamed this out and then forgot what I dreamed out. Originally I was going to have a pattern paper at the bottom, like the bottom third, and then have the circle picture and the branding strips coming out of that. And then I didn't do that, but I still wanted to have like something going on at the bottom. So I created an embellishment cluster on top of that branding strip right at the very bottom. And then I'm going to add in a couple enamel dots. This is, again, using up the enamel dots in my stash. So I'm just kind of putting them around some of the clusters, but then also scattering them through the branding strips just to give some extra dimension and whatnot. So you can see a little bit of that in the close-ups. I hope that this video was helpful to you. It's another quick one. So this is proof that you can make a scrapbook layout in like 10 minutes or less, maybe 15 minutes or less, even with mixed media. I hope this was inspiring for you, and I will see you guys next time for another process video.
All right, bye.